When I was growing up, and for many years in my adult life, I knew I had no confidence. I knew I put myself down a lot, but what I didn't know was that this was a subconscious system I had learned in my difficult childhood. I didn't understand how this system worked, and I certainly had no clue on how to stop it ruining my confidence till I finally, in my 40s, made myself face head on how I really thought about myself. And I tell you about this in the video in the pinned comments. Making myself write down what I really thought about myself led me to coming up with what I call the 6 bad messages. The 6 bad messages sum up all the things our harsh inner critic tells us all the time, till we stop it doing this. So I hope this video shows you how I was eventually able to understand how my harsh inner critic developed and how I then found an easy, simple way to nip it in the bud and stop it ruining my life. So how did this subconscious learning system happen to us? How did that develop? If we had a toxic or abusive childhood, we tend to grow up thinking we are useless, thinking we are no good at anything, thinking nobody is ever going to like us, never mind love us, thinking all these bad things about ourselves results in us not feeling a part of life, not being able to enjoy life, not being able to feel like you belong in it, not being able to like ourselves. Isn't this a terrible way to have to go through life? Not even liking yourself? But what if I was to tell you that we are not even aware that we are actually thinking these awful things about ourselves? We do it subconsciously until we learn to stop doing this. And this is why I am doing this video. I'm here to help you stop putting yourself down, to help you knock out or ditch your silent, sneaky, harsh inner critic who ruins your self-confidence and ruins your life. But let's go back to how we developed this harsh inner critic. How did this happen? When we were children, or when we are children, we are completely dependent on the people around us who are caring for us. And because of this, we don't ever question them. If something is wrong with our environment, we don't ever blame our carers. We can't. We can't do this, as it would be too overwhelming for a child to admit or even begin to think that their carers are not protecting them. It would be too overwhelming to think that. So what does a child do? A child turns the blame inwards and starts to blame itself for any problems in their environment. And again, this is all done at a subconscious level. The child doesn't even know they're doing this. They don't even know they're turning the blame inwards. And sadly, by doing this, it results in the child developing damaged core beliefs, or the 6 bad messages. A child assumes that if something feels wrong, it must be their fault, as there must be something wrong with them. So, in a difficult or toxic environment, a child starts to tell themselves the following. They start to say this to themselves: I am not enough. I am responsible for everyone around me. I can't trust my feelings and I can't trust my instincts. I am bad and I'm always wrong. I'm alone. Nobody loves me. And lastly, I have to be perfect or nobody will love me. And this is how a child learns the 6 bad messages. Now, the important thing to understand is this. This does not happen consciously. This happens at a subconscious level. As children, we are not aware that we are forming these damaged beliefs about ourselves. We are simply trying to make sense of our world, of our environment. But these beliefs don't stay in childhood. Sadly, they follow us subconsciously all the way into our adolescence and into our adult lives. And because they are subconscious, we don't even realize they are there. But they are busy, very busy, in the background, shaping how we think about ourselves and shaping our behaviour. So if deep down you believe you are not enough, or that you are responsible for everyone around you, or that you can't trust yourself, you can't trust your feelings, you can't trust your instincts, or that you are always bad and you're always wrong, or that you are alone and nobody loves you, or that you have to be perfect or nobody will love you. If you believe all this about yourself, then your self-confidence is going to be very low or probably non-existent. And when your self-confidence is low, you are not going to be able to stand up for yourself. And if you can't stand up for yourself, what happens? Then you are more likely to find yourself in toxic and even abusive situations over and over again.